What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of PSR. Do you have nods? Because on the channel, we got nods. A PVS-7 review with the PVS-7 from AGM. They've got a Generation 3 white phosphor tube in it. We're going to talk all about the PVS-7 and the history of it, kind of what it's all about. But first, this set of PVS-7s could be yours. We are giving away this very set of AGM PVS-7s white phosphor tube, and this is all being made possible by Fan of Them. Guys, Fan of Them, we've done some collaborations with them in the past. They offer a great way for you guys to take part in the channel and support the channel. These retail around $3,000, and in addition to obviously supporting the channel, you get a merch item as well. It really goes a long way to help me make these videos, guys. If you want to get entered to win these here PVS-7 night vision goggles, go to the link in the description or go to fanofthem.com/PSR. Hit that entry button. The best of luck with you, good sir. Godspeed. I hope you win. Let's talk a little bit about the AGM PVS-7 and the PVS-7 in general and the history of it. But before we get into that, I got to just quickly thank the channel sponsor for PSR, and that is Aves Engineering, guys. They make the best rails for your squirted glizzies. Anything you can think of that's a glizzy that's squirted, they got the rails for it. They also have machine locking blocks, which are really just nice parts to put in your glizzy. They also got a bunch of Mac parts too. So give your thanks to Aves, and never in a million years use PSR for 10% off your entire order. Thanks to Aves for sponsoring this channel. The AGM PVS-7 NW3 is the model number, and they are on my Ops Core bump helmet. This is the carbon bump helmet. When it comes to the history of the PVS-7, let's talk a little bit about it. So in the early 1980s, the US military began searching for a replacement for the heavier and kind of bulkier PVS-5, which was the kind of standard night vision unit back then in the early 80s. And by the mid 80s, the AN PVS-7, which was developed by ITT Corporation, which is now part of L3 Harris. So ITT Corporation for the US Army developed the PVS-7. And in the PVS-7, there were third generation tubes, which is what we have in here. Gen 3 is the latest generation. Into the late 80s and early 90s, this was widely issued to US troops. If you're using night vision in the late 80s, early 90s, it was probably a PVS-7. This was right around Operation Desert Storm, which was in 1991, and on throughout the global war on terror, PVS-7s were used. In the 2000s, they started to update the technology. The PVS-31 was developed, which uses two image intensifier tubes. This has two eye holes that you look through, goggles technically, but they are only using one tube, which is housed in here. One tube, two eye cups, you're seeing through one hole, just like you would with the PVS-14. Instead of just one hole in one eye, you're seeing two eyes, one hole. Two girls, one cup, two eyes, one hole. So eventually the PVS-7 was replaced by the PVS-31s and the PVS-14, which was a lighter weight, easier to maneuver with, single tube alternative to the PVS-7. So guys, as far as features go on these things, it's pretty standard, kind of similar to a PVS-14. Gen 3 tube in here, like I said, this one's white phosphor. It's a 40-degree field of view, two AA batteries. Excluding the batteries in the mount, these weigh around 1.5 pounds, which is not bad at all, actually. It does have a built-in IR illuminator, which is kind of nice. Unlike dual tube binoculars, these are a single tube using two lenses essentially that are collimated to have you be able to view the one tube. The way it does this is it splits it using a mirrored kind of prism system. So this night vision unit also features auto gating, which is really helpful, especially when you've got like a bright light source coming at you. You don't get blinded. That is really nice. So let's talk pros and cons. So if I were trying to put together like a retro kind of Cold War era, early GWAT era setup, the PVS-7's perfect. It's kind of like a retro AR from the late 80s, early 90s. It's got that drip factor, it's got that aesthetic, like it just looks really cool. If you were trying to go for a super functional high-speed setup, you would probably want to go with the PVS-14. Unless you just really need that dual eye setup, a PVS-14 is lighter. It's going to be probably a little bit less expensive. There's various companies making housings for them that are lightweight, but this is for the drip factor. This is for that clone kind of style night vision build. So the advantage of the PVS-7 is that you get to see the night vision through both eyes. That's the clear advantage with only one tube. It is pretty simple. There's fewer components that can break in it, more affordable than binocular night vision. I've noticed that when I wear a PVS-14, I have one eye constantly taking in light, the other eye is struggling to find light, and that can be kind of a little little bit disorienting. You can get used to it, but having both eyes open exposed to that brightness is definitely an advantage of the PVS-7. What are the disadvantages of the PVS-7? You're still not getting the full stereo vision of two separate tubes. How would you even notice that? Well, I've tried binocular night vision and I've tried these so far just walking around the backyard of my house. Walking around feels a little bit weirder, a little bit more disconnected than having both eyes each have a tube. So things like navigating, walking around, trying to gauge the distance between yourself and an object is definitely going to be a little bit more difficult with a single tube, even though you have both eyes open. Another disadvantage is definitely heavier than a PVS-14. Obviously, it's got more there, there's more glass. And like I said, this is like a retro AR. No one is running these nowadays. If you're in the military, you've got either binos or a PVS-14. But like I said, this is just the drip factor. So I guess that's an advantage and a disadvantage. So who's this goggle right for? Well, if you're just getting into night vision and you want something that's capable, but not gonna actually like extremely break the bank, like tens of thousands of dollars, good pair of binocular night vision, 8 to 10 grand. These are gonna be much less than that. You're looking at around $28,000 to $3,000 with a really nice tube in it. A lot less than 10 grand. It's still great for like observation, hunting. You're gonna see what it's like to shoot tonight. If you're a collector of GWAT era gear or you're putting together some kind of LARP, these are absolutely perfect for that. I'm really curious to see if I can actually aim passively, aim through the optic, just the optic, not using any illumination with this setup, because usually you're either running it on your aiming eye or you're running binos and you can look through them. So I'm actually curious because this is kind of right in the middle. You got the Cyclops vibes going. If I'm going to be able to aim passively just through the optic on the night vision setting, it'll be really interesting to see. So what guns are we shooting tonight? Well, we've got this gun right here, which is a Mean Arms upper. This is their bearing delay upper. It's sick, shoots amazing. We got the SBR lower in here with the Delta Team Tactical FRT. We got subsonic rounds. We got the SMS Laser HFXC, which I haven't actually really used much. I've just tested it out here and there. The laser is great on this actually, and the illuminator is pretty good. Kind of impressed with this for 250 bucks. Like, I'm really curious to see how it does. We got the 1P87 optic on here. Next up, we got, probably won't shoot this as much because I'm running low on subsonic 300 Blackout, but we got my 300 Blackout build here, just a normal DI build. We got the AB suppressors, A10 on here. This thing's rad. Provides just the right amount of back pressure for this to cycle with subs, and it runs great. The best thing about this gun though, honestly, is this trigger. This is the Black Talon tactical trigger, and this has like a 2.5 pound trigger in it, and it just breaks just the wall. There's no travel. It is just immediately break. And then the reset right there. It is so minimal. It's a sick trigger, and it's got this kind of like extended little part here where you can keep your finger actually down against the trigger guard. In addition to that, we do have the HoloSun. This is the LS321. I'm actually really curious to see how this compares to the SMS laser, because this is more in the realm of like 800 bucks. Obviously the Iris, the newer one, is going to be a higher performing laser, but I'm curious to see how this thing does. Amazon Unity riser and a SIG Romeo 5. Hopefully it won't blow up if we drop it like the P320. We're going to wait for it to get a little bit darker, and then we're going to strap on our PVS-7s and do our best Metal Gear Solid impression. So we're actually going to film the rest of the episode through my Panasonic GH5S with a PVS-14, so you can actually kind of see what the night vision looks like, and you guys can be looking through night vision. You can see the IR illuminator and everything else. And in addition to that, I got a product sent to me. This is called the Binoc NVG50, and it is a digital night vision monocular. Big thank you to them. We're going to try it out. I think this is probably going to be better than like the Psionics Aurora, which is not a great one. The Opsin I've never tried, but this has the capability of shooting on 2K video, digital night vision. So I want to kind of use this as a potential way we can film night vision content, and we can just kind of see the quality of that digital night vision versus our PVS-14 to just kind of see some differences. This is about 500 bucks, so it's definitely on the more affordable spectrum, but we're going to try this thing out and record through it and record me shooting with the PVS-7s on through our NVG50. So I've given you some info on the PVS-7. Thanks to fan of them, I get to check it out and do a little review on it. Let's get to shooting it. All right, I guess we have to wait for the sun to go down, but we'll see you when the sun goes down. All right, it's about 8:45 p.m. Sun's gone down. Sun's gone down. Oh yeah, sounds like I'm an Midwest emo singer. It's 8:45 p.m. Sun's gone down. We got the PVS-7s on. We got the subsonic Cellar and Bellet in here, the 150 grains out of our Mean Arms. We're gonna shoot 9mm first, then we'll shoot some 300 Blackout. HFXC laser on here. You can see it just fine. It's not fully dark yet, but it's working great. Try to hit some targets here. Nice. Whew. Man, the laser is, it feels like cheating. I'm gonna try to go for the gong, like 100 yards. Oh, a little bit low. Dude, that's crazy. I don't even need ear pro right now. Come on. There we go, another 100-yard target. Man, this thing is, it's really not bad. I'm getting a little fogged up because I'm wearing the mask. That's always a unfortunate result with the nods. You gotta breathe through your mouth, gotta be a full-time mouth breather. So my left eye is getting a little fogged up, but even so, I can just go one eye. It is a little easier to aim as far as just like with the laser goes than the PVS-14 because you have that dual eye situation. Even though you're just looking through one tube, it's a really nice feeling to have both eyes open. Damn. One thing I noticed that when you're shooting like this, you get a little bit more gas with a suppressor. We got the Dead Air Mojave 9 on here if I didn't already mention it. It's nice and light. We're trying to get this video monetized, so I can't put it into FRT mode, unfortunately. Probably even just saying FRT will get me demonetized. We're gonna try our other gun, the 300 Blackout. I think it'd be kind of fun to just kind of shoot like from the VTAC barricade, do some, you know, small manipulations of the gun through tight holes. Just going through tight holes is always fun. So yeah, let's try that out. Alrighty, here we are with the VTAC. Let's see if I can put the mag in here. I am focused to infinity, like I'm focused downrange, so manipulations here with any kind of night vision is a little difficult, but can I put it through with the VTAC? Oh, that's tough. That laser's like, all right, I can see it. Let's see if we can hit that gong. A little torque. Oh, that's tough. Can't hit that. Let's try from here. There we go. It's a little easier through that hole. Nice. Try going through this guy. That's a super, that's weird. Aiming at all with a laser and nods, it's not going to be as easy as aiming just normally in the daytime. Something you definitely have to train and get better at. The laser does make it easier than passive. Let's try doing this. Through the hole, hit the gong at 100 yards. Come on, baby. Oh, come on. I want to try to aim passively now with the PVS-7. All right, this might be damn near impossible. This is the PVS-1 from Novus Precision, and it does have night vision settings, which are actually pretty good, honestly. Okay, you can aim passively. You just gotta tuck your chin kind of over your stock. All right, it looks kind of silly. If I bring the stock out a little bit, I won't get as much gas, and I can kind of look down. You kind of have to cant your head a bit. Come on now. Damn. Makes aiming a little bit more difficult when you're doing passive aiming. I recently did a night vision competition. Moon's out, Hot, Forgotten Weapons, Pulling Our Tactical, we're all there. I placed 4th out of 10. So I was like in the top 40% in passive division. I also shot it, let's see if I can put the mag in. Oh, dick. There we go. I got 15th overall out of 130 something in my active with the laser.
23 plus 22. You have 45. Fucking 5, 6, 4, 9. Holy shit.
Quite a bit easier with the laser. All right, passive. Here I am with the laser, and I just cannot. I'm easy hit with the laser. Hit with the laser here. Now passive. All right, I hit it. It's definitely because you got that Cyclops mode, and it's not on one side or the other. Like your shooting eye, you would put it on a PVS-14, but with this, you're leaned over, and you kind of have to like really go forward with it. And here I am missing. There we go. Not horrible, but not ideal. I would say a PVS-14 is probably better for doing passive aiming. Hell yeah. All right, let's shoot that 300 Blackout. All right, we got our 300 Blackout. We got subsonic MagTech in here. This is 200 grain. Let's see how we do with the Holosun. With our 300 Blackout, the black talon trigger is just perfect. Oh yeah. Oh man. That is sick. Wow. I didn't really zero this, but it's zeroed. Blackout. 300 Blackout is awesome to shoot. Suppress, subsonic. The depth perception isn't quite there compared to your binos, but I will say I would prefer having these for sure over PVS-14 if I'm like walking around and moving and like just navigating or doing any kind of like reconnaissance. This is definitely superior to a PVS-14 in my eyes. Now it is a little bit heavier on your head. It's not like goggles that are super heavy. Wow. All right, I wonder if I can passive aim. Got a huge distortion mark, but I can try it here. Nice. Woo, baby. That's a lot of fun. I don't think I've ever bump fired with nods on. It's time to try bump firing with nods on. This is gonna get me demonetized, but oh, fuck it. Oh, dick. Are we out? I think we're out. Yeah, we're out. It's a good thing to practice doing this under nods, like reloading and changing mags and stuff, because it's almost like you're blind, because it's just blurry as fuck. You can't see anything unless you focus it. You know, I can focus it and then I can see. I just noticed like I'm kind of seeing double close focus, like really close focus. So maybe that is a disadvantage of having your eyes both occupied on one tube. All right, let's try to bump fire this thing. Ah, fuck it. Oh baby, that's what I'm talking about. All right, so I wanted to show you guys the difference between this SMS laser HFXC $250 laser versus the Holosun LS321. Like I said, the iris is gonna probably be a lot better, but look at the difference between these two. It's pretty substantial. The first laser, I think the Holosun's fine, but check out the difference here. So the one on the right is gonna be the SMS laser, and the one on the left is gonna be the Holosun. It's a decent difference for sure. The illuminator is way better in my opinion. And I think you can actually focus the illuminator a bit more. Yeah, so SMS laser, Holosun LS321. Laser is quite a bit brighter too. Let's see if I can focus this. Yeah, you can dial in that beam. Look at that. That's it right there. Look at that. So that's like a much more concentrated beam. I can see that target really well. This is the Holosun right here, and this is the SMS laser. Like, look at the illumination there versus here. Barely can see it. Boom, you're locked in right there. Honestly, for 250 bucks, the SMS laser is pretty good. Crazy. All right, guys, I wanted to see just how good this digital night vision device is. This is the VTAC NVG50. They did send this to me free of charge. It allows the ability to actually put it on your helmet. It comes with a mount, which is kind of cool. Digital night vision has never been, to this point, as good as analog night vision. So I'm not expecting it to be better or even as good, but I'm really curious to see how this thing shoots in full darkness with the moonlight, how well this thing does in the dark. We'll do a mag of the 9mm through this thing. I don't know if it'll catch audio, but we'll play the clip right now. Let's look and see how it does. So we just tested out the NVG50 from VTAC. Honestly, I think it's really good for digital, actually. There was some digital night vision that Giga from Polar Tactical tried to run at the Moons Out competition, and it was total ass. You know, I mean, we have the ambient moonlight, which is quite nice tonight. For digital, I think it's really quite good, actually. For 500 bucks and being able to see, I'm gonna show both shots of the PVS-14 that we're filming through right now versus the NVG50, the digital night vision, and you can see the differences there. It's kind of cool because Ivan Kit Badger, I actually helped him film some stuff for Moons Out during the stages with his Sony A7S, and it is an IR converted camera. Quite expensive. Nowadays you can get the conversion for a $500 unit. Even if you didn't just like mount it on your head and use it as night vision, using it as like a camera to film night vision stuff is actually honestly pretty great. And I think it's a little bit less than the Opsin. So honestly, pretty damn good performance from a digital unit, I would say. Well, we had a great night shooting nods. I think these are super cool, the PVS-7s. But now that it's fully dark, like, they're a little bit grainy, but really, honestly, quite good in my opinion. Not the highest spec tube of all time, but definitely enough to absolutely be able to see in the dark. The cool thing with the PVS-7s is you get that drip factor. It still has that like kind of cyberpunk aesthetic, which is really neat. As far as just like aiming, I know I already said it, but it's possible to passive aim. I thought it was actually going to be more difficult to passive aim with these, but it's not great. The passive aiming through the one tube and having it be in the center of your head is definitely difficult. But as far as just active aiming with the laser, there's not much of a difference between this and dual tubes. Navigation and running around, like, it's a little bit more disorienting with these versus the dual tubes. For what they are and for the price of them, I think this is an awesome option. Which reminds me, and I got to tell you guys again, if you guys want to support me and support the channel, please don't hesitate to get entered to win these very goggles that I've got on my head right now, the PVS-7s. Fanofthem.com/PSR, that's fanofthem.com/PSR, or click the link in the description. We're not giving away any firearms or anything. This is just night vision. This could be used for stargazing. It's actually awesome for stargazing. Like, what, dude? If you want to get yourself a little bit of PSR history, nod history, if you want just a bit of PSR merch, get entered to win, and maybe you'll win the nods. If not, you get the merch and you help support the channel, and that's always a huge, huge blessing. I honestly feel super blessed and just like extremely lucky to be out here shooting night vision content. So thank you guys so much for watching. I may go explore the woods and try to find some goddamn cryptids on deck. All right, see you next one. Bye. You get a little bag, you get so with the agent deck.